Here is why crappy things keep happening to you in your relationships, in your family relationships, in your job, career, in your health, in your life in general. And this is what you need to be doing in order to stop that pattern and create some of the most effortless, beautiful, expansive experiences in your life. So if you're ready, let's get started. Hello and welcome. My name is Kartika Nair and you're watching Synchro Shakti. The first thing you need to know is none of this is your fault. It is not this victim shaming, blaming, none of that. It is just that you did not know. There is two parts of you. Of course, there's a part of you that you are manifesting and trying to create and you're dreaming. But there's another part of you that is deeper inside. This thing is what we call the core concept, or basically belief systems that we have formed over our lifetime. So belief systems about four major things. So write this down. Belief systems or concepts we have formed about the universe, people, our desires, and majorly ourselves. This is the major one. Now you need to understand a simple thing, and that is your world is a giant reflector of these concepts. Which concepts? Beliefs that we have about. Write this down or type it in the chat. What is the first one? Universe. Next one, people. Next one, your desires, and majorly yourself. Now, why is this important to know is because, tell me if you have seen or heard of people like this, or are you one of those people where, let's say, a woman was so smothered in her father's house in the sense that she had no freedom, there was so much darkness, so much pain, and so she says, okay, I'm going to escape that by getting married because I feel like maybe when I get married I will have a different life, only to have a marriage where again she is curtailed, there's so much pain and there's no freedom, and now she wants to escape the marriage in hope that there's freedom somewhere else. Have you seen an example where somebody manifests the job that they wanted, but then there's this drama that happens at the job, maybe with the manager, maybe with the co-workers, and now that person is so traumatized that they leave the job, and then they manifest another job and everything is fine in the beginning until this drama finds them again, and then the pattern repeats. They quit, they start another job, and then the drama finds them again, and then it keeps getting stuck in their mind that this is just how it is for them when it comes to jobs. So there are a lot of fear and a lot of self-concepts around what was the four? I said concept around universe, people, our desires, in this case would be job, and ourselves. Now, have you seen somebody who always at the same time of the year will attract some sort of health issue and they'll go to the hospital? I had the similar pattern when I was doing music around 15 years ago, maybe more, 15 years ago. I was around 17, 18 years old. I would get into this amazing band, like seriously brilliant band, and then I would get treated really badly, and then they will freak me out. I would end up leaving the band and then trying again, going to another band, and I would tell them about all the negative stuff that happened with the previous band to make sure it doesn't happen again, only for it to happen again. And so the pattern will keep repeating. So what causes patterns to repeat again and again is what have we discussed? World is a mirror, is a big reflection or reflector of our core concepts. Now, I'm not just talking about concepts that are just on the surface. So I'll give you an example. So I made a list here. So I'm not only talking about concepts like only bad things happen to me, I'm unlucky in love, I always have to struggle to get anything that I want, money is not for people like us. Now these are common concepts that we all hold, and that's fine. I'm still talking about that, but in this video what I want to talk about is much, much deeper, deep inside us. From the age 0 to age 12, there's certain things that we have learned about. What is it? The universe, people, our desires, and ourselves. We've learned this from the age 0 to 12 that is so deep inside our subconscious that it has its own momentum. I'll give you certain examples. Now tell me, I'll also put in the description, I will put a list of these beliefs so you can pick out and see which ones are yours. But I'll read out a few of them now and you tell me if you resonate with or you have felt any of these beliefs are true for you. So let's look into these. Okay, these are core beliefs. Number 1, I am not seen, not heard, not understood. Number 2, I am not loved. Number 3, I am not good enough. Number 4, I'm not powerful or I'm powerless around people and situations in life. Number 5, nothing good can happen to me. Okay? Or I'm not a lucky person. These are things we've learned from things that have happened to us between that first 0 to 12 years. Sometimes it's not even things that have happened to us. It is sometimes things we pick up from the environment that we live in. Now, why is this important for us to know? Is because I see you manifesting. I see you writing your dreams. I see you scripting. I see you visualizing. But even though all this alignment that you're doing is very powerful and is creating wonderful things, at the same time, this stuff is also causing conflict and chaos. And have you seen that in your life? You manifested something but trouble seems to find you. That's because this stuff has its own law of attraction is working on this as well, because it has its own strong vibrational signature in the vibration that you're sending out into the universe. So this is why it's important to do 2 major things. The first one, find out what are these core concepts that you're holding on to. You don't have to do them today. You can do them anytime over the rest of your life. There's no rush. Okay? Now that you're aware of this particular topic, you're already in a different level than you were before this video. So don't panic. Take your time to try to figure out what are these core concepts, and I'll tell you how to do it just in a bit. What are these core concepts that are creating chaos in your reality? This is number 1. The second thing you need to do is, once you're aware of them, you need to replace them with better ideas about what? The universe, people, your desires, and yourself. You have to replace them with better ideas, and I will show you how to do that as well in this very video. So keep watching. How do you become aware of what are these core concepts that you have which is causing chaos to keep following you or trouble to keep following you? We don't want that. It's scary. We don't want a reality like that. We want a reality where we can be in love and connection and appreciation and ease and beautiful people and creating wonderful things and magic and experiencing the joy of life. That's what we want. So how do we make that shift? Number 1, when you are triggered, maybe someone said something or did something, or you didn't get what you want, or something happened in your reality that really upset you, or maybe you're just generally upset about who you are and where you are in life, and you're thinking and comparing yourself and you're going into some sort of negative frequency, start writing. And what are you going to write? You're going to write, how do I feel, now that I'm triggered, how do I feel about the universe? That could be ideas like, I'm abandoned by the universe, or the universe is not helping me anymore. About people are bad, nobody loves me, nobody understands me. Okay? About the desire that you have for a great life, nothing comes to me easily, I'm always struggling, why can't things just happen for me? Notice these ideas. What is the final one? About myself. How do I feel about myself in this experience? I'm alone, I am powerless, whatever is coming up here. Okay, and it's okay if they all connect in some form, that's fine. Write it down. When you write it down, you're going to become more and more aware of what are these ideas, because we know that this garden of life is so beautiful. We just have to take the weeds out and nature will do its magic and create magical things. Anyway, that's nature's job. Have you looked at nature? Is it not magical? Are we not part of nature? Magic is part of our experience. Gotta get the weeds out of the way. So when you write, you'll become more aware of it. Number 1. Number 2, you can go back to those of you who can actually remember your childhood experiences. Not all of us can, but those who can, go back through times in your childhood that were specifically upsetting or hurtful times. Put yourself in the body of that that kid or any past version of yourself. Doesn't even have to be a childhood experience. It could be any past experience. And just say, okay, now that I'm in the body in that experience, let me write out, what do I feel about the universe? What is the next one? People. Next one, my desires, which could be whatever in the context of that memory. And my final one, about myself. And you'll also notice that these patterns keep repeating. If you look at all the chaotic things that have happened to you, whether it's in health or relationships, you'll notice the same beliefs are coming up everywhere. I'm powerless, I'm not good enough, I'm not understood, I'm not seen. It's showing up in 7-8 different relationships, 7-8 different health concerns, 7-8. It's just showing up everywhere because it's just a gigantic reflection of these core beliefs that we have. So now how do we replace these beliefs? This is the main part, right? Replacing these beliefs. So one major way, and please subscribe to this channel because I'm going to be sharing as many ways to replace these beliefs. So please subscribe. Otherwise, I don't know when I'll pop up on your feed to give you this information. So subscribe now if you haven't. One major way to shift or replace these beliefs is to ask yourself, what is the opposite belief? So let's say the belief is, I'm powerless. Okay. What is the opposite belief is, I do have some power in my reality. So now, what is the evidence that I do have some power in my reality? The evidence is I have the ability to buy groceries and cook food for myself and keep myself alive. I have the ability to go on an aircraft without having a panic attack. You know how many people cannot do that, go through an air journey or be on a flight? You know how many people can't do that, but you can. Does that not show you that you have a powerful mind? How many times have you created an experience that is wonderful? Is that not evidence that you have a powerful mind? So I'm just giving you certain ideas. You have to pick in yourself, what is the evidence to prove that I do have some level of power in my life? Don't keep going back and forth and feeding the, yeah, but I'm powerless here. Keep focusing on that one thing where you have power, even if the only place you have power is that you can go through an airport and go through a flight without having a panic attack. If that's your only point of power in your life, focus on that until that becomes your predominant story about yourself. When you start asking yourself, what is the opposite idea and what evidence proves my opposite idea? Here's what happens. Your story changes. So now your story was, I'm powerless, has now changed to, I do have power in many different places. Now there is a different story, so the vibration is different. Let's give another example. Let's say there's a belief that I always have to struggle for what I want. Okay, what's the opposite idea? There are many things that I like in my life that have come without me struggling, that have come effortlessly. Okay, what's the evidence to prove that there's many things that have come in my life that have come effortlessly? Look around you and pick out that evidence. Have you had travels, maybe from childhood, that came effortlessly to you? You don't have to pay for it. You don't have to struggle on that to get to that place or to enjoy that beauty. It came naturally to you. Did you have ideas that just came to you? Did you have pictures on your wall that you were able to pick out from the store, which are exactly what you wanted? Did you ever get gifts in your life? Did you ever get compliments in your life without having to struggle to force the person to compliment you? Did you ever make a dish, cook a dish that came out wonderfully? And it just came like that in the flow of you cooking. So now that's evidence to prove that there are things that have come to me effortlessly. So what happens? The story changes. Write it down in the chat. Okay, what happens? Right? Now, when the story changes, your vibration changes, which creates a totally different experience of life, and you have to practice this new story. It's supposed to be practiced, so it begins to build a momentum, and when the momentum is strong, that will become your default reality because it's your predominant emotion about, what is it? The universe, people, the desires, and yourself, which keep manifesting as your pattern. So if you have the most empowering ideas about universe, people, your desires, and yourself, you're on a totally different playing field. You're playing a totally different game now, and you'll notice that reality will match that. Now, this might take you some practice. That's important to practice. You don't have to start now. You let this video just kind of settle in your mind, listen to it, take notes, maybe keep a separate notebook just for these videos and just take notes for now. You don't even have to act on anything I've said. Over time, over the next year, allow these ideas to come up in your awareness and just start practicing. The next time you're triggered, or maybe the 50th time you're triggered, you might remember to write it down. What am I feeling about these 4? And okay, now that I'm here, over time, after the triggers kind of come down, you're calming a little bit. Now you can ask yourself, what are the opposite ideas? What evidence do I have? Now that evidence can be practiced every day as affirmations and say, hey, I am powerful over my reality. Many things do come to me effortlessly. good things do happen to me. I am loved by that one friend, but that still shows me I'm worthy of love. I am worthy of love. I am beautiful. Whatever evidence is showing you, practice that idea, and then you'll notice your story changes, your vibration changes, your reality changes. So I will end with that note. Let me know, was this of value for you, just to have this little kind of flow of the information, because law of attraction wise, you could be doing all the visualization, but if you're not letting go of these beliefs that are getting in the way, you will manifest not at the level that you can, but or maybe you'll manifest great things, but you'll also struggle tremendously around that. So now then, there's a belief, struggle is a must. There is no universal law that states that struggle has to be a law. No. Many people who live life without having to struggle so much. It doesn't make them bad. Nature doesn't struggle so much. It's a flow. You're part of that flow. You don't have to give yourself every reason to suffer. It's not that if you suffer, you're more valuable, and if you're able to just enjoy life without having to suffer, you're less valuable. That's in your head. What's the point of wanting a joyful life but saying struggle is more valuable? Let go of those ideas. It's your reality. You have power. You are the creator. Sit back, relax, shift a little bit internally, and see what happens externally. So I will end it with finally putting it all together. The world is a gigantic reflector or mirror of your inner concepts about the universe, people, your desires, and majorly yourself. Find out what those concepts are, replace them. Practice the replaced ideas enough. Give yourself a whole year and change. That story changes, and when it changes, your destiny, your experience, your reality changes. Let me know if this video was of value, and majorly I want you to really comment. I know many of you are now thinking to just switch off the video, but I want you to comment, because my desire is to have a beautiful community that I know. It could be 3 people, 5 people, 300 people. It doesn't matter to me, that I know there are people who are watching, taking notes, and actually practicing this. This makes me connected, so I can feel your vibration, I can tune into you and really guide you based on what you need. So comment, tell me you're here, to show me you like this content, and I will continue, because I can actually sense there are people here who are watching and are gaining value from what we have to teach. So I love you. Thank you so much. I appreciate all of you. You guys are beautiful people, and I'll see you in another video.